Hello, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. On January 11th, the nodes of fate will shift from your 12th and your 6th house and move to two very lucky houses for you. I love this for you, Taurus. These nodes and eclipses will sextile and trine your Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Your Ascendant is the vehicle that you move through in this world. It is your physical body and the way that people see you. It is one of the, if not the most important angle in the chart, the first house. And yeah, your sun represents your vitality, your work in the world, father figures. Your moon represents, motherhood, family, our ancestral roots, our emotional landscape, and our etheric body. So our moon can actually represent our physical health as well. The Pisces Virgo axis will now move to your Pisces 11th house it's a lucky house of hopes, dreams, wishes. It covers the internet, large groups and networks, celebritydom, lottery wins, and the Virgo 5th house. So these are two lucky houses, the 5th house and the 11th. The 5th house, where the South Node will move, is the house of children, romance, creativity, true love, speculative gains, and lotto wins, theater and sports, in which the energy for that shift actually all started to kick off with the lunar Pisces eclipse in September. I had drawn a tarot card for you in that reading and also went into the eclipse in detail and what this will mean for you and the energy that will unfold over the next 2 years. I will link the video for you in the description box down below, and it is timestamped, so you don't have to listen to the whole video. You can just jump to like the tarot card or the eclipse or both. Since July 2023, the focus was on rest, seclusion, pulling back from the public, faraway travel. The 12th house represents foreign investments, charitable organizations, spirituality, prisons. I don't think any of you were in prison. Hospitals, ashrams, past life regression, etc. And then the South Node was in your 6th house of health, diet, day-to-day work that you do to maintain your daily life, people that you hire. And I may add that these two houses, the 6th and the 12th, also cover like open competition or enemies. It's open competition in the 6th house, hidden enemies in the 12th, because the 12th is a Neptune house. It's a kind of a foggy, misty realm. You could have felt less ambitious in the realm of day-to-day work that you had to do to maintain your daily life. You could have also found a fated healer or someone to help you that you could have hired with organizing those more mundane aspects of your life that I know you definitely weren't interested in and probably didn't want to focus on for the past year and a half. And actually that energy will continue for a little while longer because no matter what rising sign you are, the 6th house is always ruled by Virgo in the traditional astrology wheel. And the South Node is moving to Virgo. But let's not confuse. Let's move on. So it's likely that this healer could have come in from a past life with the South Node having been here, as the South Node very much represents past lives. It could have been something like a person to help within the home if you have a home-based office, like finding like a launderer or like a service, or if you are a stay-at-home parent who works from home, maybe you could have hired like a nanny to help while you're at home, while you're busy working in your home office. And this person can come back, to give you a favor or giving you some good karma back from a past life. You could have also had like a health issue come to light or issues with your pet's health and have been in kind of a retreat mode to take care of yourself or them. You may have let go of old employment to pursue a more spiritual practice or became more interested in spirituality or past life regressions. Maybe you started to earn money from that, and the success may have been with foreigners or people from another country different from your birth, with having the North Node in the 12th house. You could have also moved for work for a foreign company or purchased land or property that you could rent or develop, as the 6th house where the South Node was covers rental property. You could have also been working on like a film project, fantasy novel, YouTube series that you have yet to bring out to the public and have been working on behind the scenes, and you still may be tweaking that. These are just a few of the ideas of what may have developed over the past 1.5 years. If there is something that you feel you haven't accomplished in these areas, have no fear, as there will be a solar eclipse in Aries on March 29th at 8 degrees, carrying the energy of new beginnings that will kind of reverberate out until October. But also Saturn and Neptune will move into Aries in the spring, late spring, further emphasizing these very strong Aries energies that will be with us for and for you, that will still leave a focus on that 12th house, 6th house for some time to come. I will list the dates down below in the description box for you to calendar or jot down. The lucky houses of the 11th and 5th will now be in high relief and are so beautiful for you, Taurus. It'll be kind of nice to have the nodes shifting out of the 6th and 12th house. And the eclipses and nodes will sextile and trine, your sun. I think I mentioned father figures, work and health, vitality, moon, mother, important women in your life. Also, the moon represents public appeal. And then your rising, which is everything about your physical body and your life in the 3D world. Your ascendant is the vehicle that we travel through this world in. If you were working on a creative project while the North Node was in your 12th house, because this is a house of like divine inspiration, creativity, and fantasy, you could be bringing it out to the public. Oh, it also rules film. You could be bringing it out to the public via the internet and gain like celebrity status possibly over the next 2 years. And I say 2 years because although the North Node will move on from Pisces in your 11th house, July 26th of 2026, there will still be one last eclipse in Virgo, not to finish up until February 20th, 2027, giving you ample time to make dreams come true in the 11th house, which is a dream come true, wish, and luck house. Saturn, as it moves into the 12th, leaving the 11th, will further help you accomplish some big dream and give your vision structure in the realm of internet-based projects, film, or movies, as Neptune will move out of its home of the 12th, but also social movement groups investing in science, AI, astrology groups. I'm sorry. Let me pause for 1 second. I think I made a mistake. Yes, I was right. Okay, so Saturn will move into the 12th, leaving the 11th, helping you further accomplish some big dream and giving your vision structure in the realm of, I'm sorry, I just repeated myself, internet-based projects, film, or movies, as Neptune will move into its home. Neptune rules the 12th house and will be moving there. But also social movement groups, humanitarian groups, investing in science, AI, astrology groups, philanthropic organizations. You can begin something in those areas or find great financial gain there as well. These are all 11th house topics. You could win the lotto, work on a project with a friend, form a group to help disadvantaged people or children or women, homeless or displaced children, as Neptune, who rules Pisces in your 11th house, again is moving into that 12th house that it rules of deep empathy and charitable organizations. But also Jupiter will enter its sign of exaltation, Cancer, the very sign of women, home, family, motherhood, and children. And Jupiter will sextile your sun, moon, or ascendant starting in June, and will sit there for the course of a year. But also at some point next year, Jupiter will trine the North Node and Saturn, which again is another lovely aspect for you, Taurus. And Cancer rules your 3rd house of thoughts, mind, daily environment, but also the 3rd house represents like writing projects. It can be the internet as well, books, early elementary education, book writing, social media, amongst many things. You can find luck in joining like local social groups, like clubs that have a wider international 11th house range through the internet. So all of these above topics could be lucky areas for you. You could also start like a book writing project or develop a script or a screenplay for a movie. Maybe you've been working on something like that while the North Node was in the 12th house of divine downloads. You could develop an app or social media group that helps people, children in your community, and that would cover that emphasis on this 3rd house that will start up in June and go the length of a year all the way until June 2027. But also the 11th house and 12th house areas are covered as well and touched by this because they are also charitable houses. With the South Node transiting your 5th house of love, romance, and children, luck and gains, you could kind of have like less focus here on a partner or like having fun. You know, the fifth house is a fun house, in lieu of the futuristic, community-oriented 11th house, where you'll be almost hungry to go after those 11th house topics. As Rahu, the North Node, is the hungry mouth of the dragon with an insatiable appetite wherever he goes, and Ketu, the South Node, is the back end of the dragon, not to be gross, where things are let go. You could let go of a romantic relationship that wasn't good for you or that was beyond repair, but this will likely be with ease, as the South Node doesn't fight. It can simply release, and it will be trining you in a good aspect and trining Saturn as well. So Saturn is also the planet of karma, so it could look like finishing up of karma in the fifth house with a specific person and a past life. Love can also be met, actually, for sure, during this time period as well. It can sweep away, because the Ketu is the tail of the dragon. It can sweep away whatever contents of the house that it is sitting in. It can, release an old partnership to bring a healing past life love into your life. If you're not leaving a relationship, your focus could just be more on that 11th house, where the North Node will transit for the next 1.5 years, all the way until July 2026. You can also have a release of a block around creativity, as the South Node does not block in that fifth house, but it releases. And it can be channeled up through that 11th house, because the fifth is looking up at the 11th. So it could be like a creative idea comes to you and it's an internet-based project, or it becomes a lucky or lucrative creative idea you can take to a group of angel investors or a group that wants to help you bring the project to life. If you have children, you could be less focused on them, but this is more in like a faded way, as they are possibly growing and becoming more independent and not needing you as involved in their day-to-day lives as much. Lastly, you could be less focused on your individuality and shining on stage alone. The fifth house is a Leo house and could become more group and network focused. Saturn will start to move into a conjunction with the North Node of Fate and Pisces at the end of March, coming exact April 18th through the 22nd, and will be felt until the end of May. This can look like your dreams crystallizing and taking form, but only if you've been putting in the work to make them come true. Saturn offers nothing if nothing is given. Saturn also rules your 9th house of distant travel and publishing, and your 10th house of career and public status and recognition. Also, Uranus rules the 11th house in the traditional astrology wheel, and Aquarius and Uranus will go into your 2nd house of earned income in Gemini. So you really could be changing the way that you make money, especially involving like technology, or communication. If you have been working hard at something behind the scenes, you could be gaining renown for that project, possibly changing your career and even how you're known because of it, as the 11th house is also a gain house from the work that we do in the 10th. And if this doesn't quite resonate yet, maybe where the work needs to be put in will be shown around the time of the conjunction in the spring, to give you a second chance, when Saturn will conjunct Neptune in Aries on February 20th, 2026. So gather up your dreams, hold your vision, jot down any jolts of inspiration that can come through, because they can come into sharp view or sharp relief this spring, and the steps that you need to take to accomplish them can be put into action to show a solid result by the Aries Neptune Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees February 2026. Take care, Taurus.